Welcome to the WFNL Show presented by Arrow Transport, proud naming rights partner of the Western Football Netball League. Anzac round on the weekend coming up. Pat Crown and Foundation round. Pat tragically lost his life almost 10 years ago to the day. On the audio version of this podcast, we'll hear from his dad, Matt. We'll talk about that in more detail as well. Belgravia Apparel Netball Competition. We had the men's Premier Division tipping off on Friday night at the State Netball Centre, and final grading for the women as well. Jordan Dalliston will have a netball report coming up, but let's welcome the team here. Brett Thomas is my name. The rose between the thorns, literally with the rose on the T-shirt there. Kel Rowe, fresh from playing from another team on the weekend. You're a gun for hire.
I am, apparently. No, I in the spirit of getting football out on the park, I played a quarter for North Footscray on the weekend. Okay,
very nice. And a new face today, the House of Pain. Welcome Connor Pain from 88.9 Win FM. Connor, welcome to the WFNL show.
Thank you for having me. It's first time on camera, so it's a new experience, but yeah, good to be here.
Tell us about your involvement with the WFNL over the years. Obviously, you're a broadcaster now.
Yeah, I often say I have the face for radio. So for, I think, 2013, 2014, I got started with the record. Did that for a number of years. I've stopped doing that as of this year. For the radio, started in 2021 due to a number of people leaving, COVID, what have you. And then, yeah, really enjoyed my time on radio, and it's always fun, makes a fun Saturday.
Great to have you with us. Also on the audio version of this podcast, North Footscray captain Adam Petrides, they are off to a flyer this season, 3-0. We'll catch up with him. And as we mentioned, Matt Cronin will talk about the message ahead of Pat Cronin Foundation round. Coward punched 10 years ago. His son tragically died. Let's now talk about our observations from the weekend that was Anzac round. Connor, giving you the new face here. We'll talk about the match that you broadcast, Hoppers against Werribee Districts.
Yeah, it was obviously the two reigning premiers, Hoppers Crossing and Werribee. It's always going to be a clash. They're local rivals. Our man Cade on radio often calls it the Hate Your Guts Cup. He always brings it up. So me and one of the radio callers have a bit of banter between how often he can bring it up. But yeah, it lived up to the billing. Werribee probably in the end ran over the top of Hoppers Crossing in the fourth quarter, but for the first three, it was a real back and forth tussle. Whether it was contested ball, who was more accurate inside forward 50, but lived up to the billing, but Werribee really showed why they were the reigning premiers.
Now, their playing coach, Jared Polak, injured on the day. Did he take himself off, put himself through a fitness test, and how much of an influence did injuries play in that result for Hoppers?
He didn't do a fitness test. Unfortunately, it looked like he did something pretty serious to his hamstring, so he knew straight away, came off, got some ice wrapped to his leg, and then was straight back into coaching. Injuries did play a factor. Werribee lost one of their key forwards early, which sort of, I think, played a factor, at least in the first half. Took them a while to settle things in the forward 50. And then, as I mentioned, with Polak going down the fourth quarter, I think they probably would have been ran over the top of anyway, even if he was playing, but it just really hurt their chances in that last quarter.
So in terms of the margins in TIV Division 1 across the weekend, some really comfortable, easy results. Aside from Albion against Sunshine, 22 points, and Daniel Rosenvik with 6 goals was the difference there.
Yeah, he's so important for them. I don't think it can be overstated. 6 goals for anybody, let alone a key forward's always massive. He missed 2 weeks ago against Parkside in a game we called on radio, and you could really tell that they were missing him out there, just missing that key forward, that spearhead inside forward 50. Having him back in the fold, I think it just gives him another point of difference inside forward 50. And yeah, Sunshine, they're definitely better than they were last year, but I think Albion's showing they're just slightly above that sort of lower tier class in Division 1.
Before we touch on Division 2 and some big results there, let's talk about St Vincent Private Hospital, Werribee Senior Women's, and Molly Pianta. 5 goals for Laverton in their win over Point Cook Centrals. Not sure how many points she kicked, Kel, but she may have outscored her opposition on her own.
Absolutely. Molly kicked a bag on the weekend, and it was definitely...
Is 5 a bag, by the way?
I think so. Yeah. It feels like a bag.
I concur.
But yes, Molly kicked a bag over the weekend, and it definitely was a theme across the games. We had two of my teammates in our match against North Footscray. Janelle Samu kicked 6, Emily Gillespie kicked 5, and then in the Wyndham Vale Caroline Springs game to round out the weekend, their new recruits Larissa Reno and Jess Spall kicked 7 each. So definitely a big scoring round.
Anything else catch your eye?
Yeah, we had a great hit out between Parkside Spurs and also the Suns senior women. Suns held them to account compared to some of their earlier matches in the season. A great showing, though, from Spurs junior Charlie Leger. She kicked 4 goals and was named best on in the game. But also, in amongst all of that, their skipper, Jess Burns, celebrated her 50 games milestone. So a good day out for the Spurs all in all.
Yep, well done there. Division 2, Connor, Lyndon Dunn, 7 goals. I think he kicked 11 the week before. North Footscray's win over West's Footscray. Faced off in Women's League, as we heard there as well. 23 goals in 3 games. Are we on century watch now?
We absolutely are. I'd be more surprised than not at this point if he doesn't raise the bat by the end of the season. We had it with Lewis Stanton for the Premier's Wyndham Vale last year. I think we're going to have another one in Division 2 this year. He's been on absolute fire. Clearly the standout for North Footscray, they're on top of the ladder for a reason. He's been an awesome addition to the league.
Wyndham Vale, well, they haven't played 3 full games, have they? So they haven't actually lost, but North Footscray, they'd be really, feeling pretty positive about the way they've started the season. Clearly, Wyndham Vale the team to catch, though.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be a weird year for both sides. They're clearly a class above all the other teams in Division 2, so they're almost, I guess, going against each other, even when they're not directly playing each other. So you can only measure yourself against the best. For North Footscray, they're top of the ladder, but they're chasing the premiers. For Wyndham Vale, I guess they're only going to hold themselves to their own standards, but you're always going to have the chasing pack led by North Footscray. And
again, we speak to their captain, Adam Petrides, on the audio version of this podcast. Let's look ahead, though, to Pat Cronin Foundation round. We'll reverse the order here, Kel, so we'll start with you. What do you want to see this weekend in St Vincent Private Hospital, Werribee Senior Women's?
Well, there's 2 games that come to mind. Parkside Spurs versus my side, West Footscray.
Are you playing again?
I am
and
playing
which
again.
Team?
West Footscray.
Okay,
well, I have to be selected.
Yep, of course. Yep. Training after this, so we're trying to get through the podcast for you, Kel.
Parkside are looking, I guess, to nail their 4th win on the trot. They've had a really strong start to the season, so we'll have our work cut out for us, but very much looking forward to that hit out. And the other game that I'm really looking forward to seeing the result of is between Wyndham Vale and Laverton. 2 very distinct styles of footy. I think it'll be an absolute cracker.
TIV Division 1 and Division 2. Tell us about some matches you're looking forward to.
Main one would be Division 1. Obviously, the radio game we're calling is Altona versus Caroline Springs. Caroline Springs coming off a pretty convincing win against Flag Fancy in Yarraville Seddon, holding them holding them really, which is not what I tipped pre-game, so I'm happy to admit I got that one wrong. And in the rivalry battle of the bridge, Yarraville Seddon, who I just mentioned, versus Spotswood, so that's always going to be juicy. Any rivalry game in general is going to be a tough matchup, but particularly off the back of a pretty disappointing loss, I think Yarraville will be out for some blood.
Yeah, Will Hoskin-Elliott well held by Caroline Springs over the weekend, just 2 goals, which I'd be happy with 2 goals any week, but for him, the way he'd started the season, outstanding. I'd love to see Yarraville make a statement against Spotswood in the Battle of the Bridge, lowered their colours against the Lakers. We spoke to a couple of their key players on the WFNL Media Day about how important this match is and how both their seasons are looking before, of course, we got things underway. Big off-season for the club and for you personally as well. Tell us about the experience of training with Werribee, the VFL side, over summer.
Yeah, obviously the jump from local footy to VFL was pretty high, and it was just good being exposed to obviously blokes who have played AFL at the highest level. Being exposed to professionalism and how all the boys go about it has been really good for my footy. Kind of opened my eyes a bit.
You must feel super fit coming from a VFL pre-season now back into the WFNL.
Just those first few sessions obviously felt a bit weird, obviously coming back to local footy, but deep into pre-season now, obviously all the boys are looking really sharp, and same as me, feeling good. Will
Hoskin-Elliott's the big signing for you guys. How much of the pre-season has he done coming off a long career with the Giants and the Pies?
Obviously we're a pretty young team, and it's just really good to have someone with that experience and leadership get around the boys and really drive the standards of training.
He was sort of a wingman, high half forward, loved to kick a goal with the Pies. Have you taken anything from his game or what you've seen on the track that you'd like to add to your own?
Oh, definitely just his composure around the contest. Just never really seems to miss a kick. He's always seems pretty calm and relaxed. And obviously when I play, I'm a bit all over the shop sometimes with the way I run. But yeah, just being composed in the contest. And I think as a team as well, we're a young, fit, fast team. So I think we do get caught up in playing that kamikaze ball. And it's definitely something we've been training to slow down and play tempo footy, find the mark. It's probably been our main goal for the whole pre-season.
So you must be feeling pretty good about the season ahead. Straight sets exit from the finals in 24, but made a prelim last year. What's the confidence level like among the group?
Yeah, I do think that our group is pretty high on confidence. I definitely think there is a vibe in the air that we think we can go all the way this year. And yeah, with all these leaders coming in, it would definitely help us, I reckon, in the finals. Obviously, when there's high pressure, just having those blokes with the experience to settle the nerves and just really drive the standards, yeah.
Disco, let's start off with the nickname and the origins of that nickname.
Yeah, mate. So when I first came to the club a few years ago, Harley Walsh, one of our players, met up with a few of the boys at the pub, and yeah, we had a good fun night, and I had a bit of a boogie, and yeah, disco come from that.
So were you first on the dance floor? Are you generally
always,
first on the dance floor?
Always, mate. Always generally first. Yeah,
Okay.
and last, to be fair.
Yeah. What sort of music gets you up? What song would you, if you heard it immediately, you're up on your feet?
It's a good one. Sweet Caroline normally gets me up.
Really?
Yeah, it's a good one.
I don't associate that sort of with dancing. It's more singing.
No, that one gets me up, and then it's the techno that follows that gets the boogie
right.
going. That's
Yeah,
right,
later in the night. Okay. Obviously coming off a big year, finals for the first time in 5 or 6 seasons.
Years, yep.
I think 6 years.
Yep.
How's the squad looking?
Yeah, really good, mate. We've had a couple of really good recruits. Recruited, a couple of boys from down the country way. Couple of VFL listed boys were, or used to be VFL listed, and now come back to club footy. So yeah, really excited for that, and yeah, they're going to be a great addition to the team.
Well, of those boys, give us a couple of names that you're really excited to see and play alongside.
Yeah, we've got Jackson Williams, who's been recruited, and we've also got Max. He's a big fella down back, so he'll help me out, which is going to be nice. But yeah, Jacko's an inside mid, another one for us, which is going to be really handy for us. Yeah.
And your role, you've owned a half-back flank for a number of years. Any change to that this year?
Nah, no change. Used to be a forward at heart, but yeah, our coach Steve O'Brien pushed me down back, and been there for the last couple of years. But yeah, honing into my position and really enjoying it, mate. Yeah.
Newport round 1, but in round 4, the Battle of the Bridge
Yep.
against Yarraville.
Yep.
Pumped for that?
Yeah, pumped. We've lost the last few, so we're looking forward to get the trophy back at Spotty.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll be fired up for that one, so looking forward to it.
Now, is it still the Battle of the Bridge? Because we do have the tunnel now as well. Are there other ways to get to these grounds?
That's right. You can go over and under now, can't you? No, it'll still always be the Battle of the Bridge, mate.
Okay, that is footy in depth. Let's hear now from Jordan Dalliston. The Belgravia Apparel Netball Competition. Men's Premier Comp has tipped off. Final grading for the women as well. Here's Jordan.
Jordan, a huge night at the State Netball Centre on Friday night for the launch of the Premier Men's Division. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was absolutely phenomenal. We had high vibes, big crowds. Everyone was really excited. The boys were pumped. They were eager to get on court. We also filmed for the first time, so we got to see one of our inaugural men's teams get filmed for the night. That was such a big moment for us. Yeah, high energy. It was really great vibes. Yeah, I think a highlight would have been the game that was filmed. So Auburn played Glenorton. Very strong matchup. We had the Kelpies shooting circle playing against their defensive circle on opposition teams. It was such an incredible skill set to watch. Very versatile game with lots of highs and lows. In the end, Auburn proved too strong for Glenorton. So maybe we've seen a grand final pre-season match. Like, who knows? We'll see where the season takes us.
And grading wrapped up for the women's divisions. Yeah, tell us how that all wrapped up.
Yeah, grading's been different this year. We've brought in a grading committee, which is not something the competition's ever had before. Lots of mixed results in the first round. We regraded, and then now we've had 3 rounds of grading have just concluded. We had some big scores on Friday night. We've seen some big plays take the court that haven't yet. Now we're refixturing and building the fixture for the season ahead. It's looking like our divisions are going to be quite strong, evenly matched, and with the 8th division coming in, they're going to have a very equal draw with 8 teams, so it's looking positive.
Jordan, any divisions you're really looking forward to this season?
Yeah, Division 3, I think last year Sunshine made the grand final. In the end, Glen Autumn proved to be too strong, but watching them during grading, they have been very strong. They've got new key players, especially a goalkeeper that is very well known in the netball space. That's proving to be a little bit too hard for some of our teams to handle. I'm very keen to watch Sunshine progress this season. I think they are going to be that top-ranked team that are going to be very hard to beat out. Division 7 is also exciting. Braybrook will try and get 3-peat, so 3 back-to-back premierships this season. They've gone 2 in a row. They're going for their 3rd. Their team is looking very strong, very versatile. They've got old players, but they've got some new young ones in there that are going to be very strong. So looking forward to that.
Last week we introduced the Arrow Transport Challenge to you, and Kel, you know someone who's taken part in this.
I do. We sent along Hazel McCarthy from West Footscray to represent us in the challenge, and by all reports, she said it was great crack.
A great crack because she's a young Irish lass.
She is indeed.
So you haven't gone easy on her, you just sent her straight over to do something. It's a foreign game and now a foreign challenge to her as well.
Absolutely not foreign to her though. Hazel's a premiership player for West Footscray, so
of course,
yeah,
yep.
Well skilled.
Okay, this challenge involves WFNL players taking part in a series of fun challenges, as we heard, at Arrow Transport. It's time now to reveal our first challenge and competitors, other than Hazel.
Get moving with Arrow.
We're here for the Arrow Transport Challenge with the Western Football Netball League, competing with different teams and different players.
Get moving with Arrow.
Megan Bester from Yarraville Central Football Club. Oh. Yay.
Jamie Day from the Albion Football Club.
Oh, shit.
Oh no.
Hazel McCafferty, West Footscray Football Club. Give it a kick, why not? Hit off. Oh, sorry, I'll get that later.
Jack Knight from Spotswood.
Oh.
New in 2026 is the Skins Special Effort Award, which will see up to 4 sets of skins handed out each week in recognition to a special effort on the footy field and the netball court. I love wearing compression wear myself, Kel. How about you?
Absolutely.
I feel a lot better. I think Connor might have a pair on right now. Well done to our Skins Special Effort Award recipients. All the winners, as we mentioned, receive a pair of compression tights, thanks to Skins, in recognition of a special effort on the footy field and the netball court. It is Plays of the Week time. Plenty of great highlights from across the weekend, senior men's and women's. Anything off the top of your head you saw that you think might feature in this package here, Connor?
Yeah, Josh Mould, he kicked 6, so he's got a few goals to choose from, but he had a really nice set shot from the boundary, which he dutifully gave to the crowd, and the Hoppers Crossing bench, which he kicked it in front of. But I think the highlight for me was late in the fourth quarter, he ran into I wouldn't say an open goal square, but he had a couple of guys chasing him. Just really nice snap over the shoulder, just sealing the game for Werribee, highlighting his 6 goals. So that was probably my best of his for the afternoon.
And Kel, Animal Watch this weekend, I think we had the Goose in round 1.
No Animal Watch, but I put good money on seeing a couple of Falcons in the highlights package with Renault and Spall kicking a bag for Wintervale.
Okay, Plays of the Week. Let's check it out.
10-8. They are 2 men down. Werribee District's 2 from the kick, and it's Buckingham off half-back. Spears a ball to Correa. Now to the running Scommers Here they come Hoppers. Scommers kicks towards Butler. It's the youth movement. Inside 50. Butler took a bounce, but he's brought down from behind. Basuttle got him.
Pat was a really good footballer. He'd won the previous 2 years under 19 best and fairest at the Lower Plenty Footy Club. He was the captain of the under 19s, but he was a really smart kid as well. Earned himself a scholarship at La Trobe Uni where he was studying to be a physio. So had the world at his feet. That night he went out with some mates. Some trouble broke out. One of his friends was attacked. Pat went to his aid to just drag him away from trouble as he would have done on the footy field. In that act of courage, he was struck from behind by a coward. And 2 days later, we turned his life support off. One of the best things that you can do is just jump on the socials, just give us a like, give us a follow. The more followers we get and the more people who see our messages, the greater chance we've got of changing attitudes towards violence and, creating safer communities for all of us.
Match of the daytime, Pat Cronin Foundation Round, marquee game. Connor, you touched on this one, TIV Division 1 Senior Men's, but tell us in a little bit more detail, Altona v Caroline Springs this weekend. Do you give Altona a chance in this?
Unfortunately, not really. I think Caroline Springs showed last week the talent and sort of firepower they possess. They made the grand final last year, went just about as close as any team could in a losing grand final. They're at opposite ends of the ladder, but Altona have improved this season. They were pretty disappointing and have been, by their standards, since their 2022 grand final win. So plenty to play for both sides, sort of to see where they're at in terms of Altona. Caroline Springs just need to continue winning to make that finals push, which they're looking forward to. So unfortunately, probably not the result in the end that we may be hoping for, but plenty to look forward to for both sides.
Altona against Spotswood on the weekend actually led at quarter time and half time, but to lose by 62 points, Altona with a bit to think about on the track leading into that game against Caroline Springs.
Losing by 62 points is always difficult, particularly when you're winning earlier in the game. Yeah, I think it's a pretty clear case of watch the tape, work on it at training, and then get cracking onto next week. Unfortunately, both fortunately and unfortunately, footy's a 1 week game, so it's easy to get and easy to remember. So I think there's a lot for Altona to work on, clearly. But if you're going to face against the reigning grand finalists, it's a pretty good, tough opponent to go up against next.
Yeah, memories of a goldfish this weekend is what Connor is saying there. That will begin at 2:10, the first bounce, JK Grant Reserve. The broadcast, though, 88.9 Win FM, starts at 1:30, and you can watch that on your local footy hub, broadcast by Sportscast Australia, of course, who are filming this for us as well. But on the local footy hub, catch our Pat Cronin Foundation round marquee game. It is Altona against Caroline Springs. Kel, Connor, well done this weekend.
Thank you very much.
Hope to see you back on the podcast. Thanks for joining us on the WFNL Show, proudly brought to you by Arrow Transport.